Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into Fiona Davis's novel, The Stolen Queen. It's quite a ride.
It really is. You've got ancient curses, a big museum heist, personal secrets, all wrapped up together.
Exactly. It weaves together these timelines, 1930s Egypt and 1978 New York, specifically the Met Museum.
Right, centered around two really compelling women, Charlotte Cross and Annie Jenkins.
So our mission today is to unpack this story. We want to pull out those fascinating details, the history, the emotional core of it all.
Yeah, look beyond just the plot. What makes it tick? What does it tell us?
Get ready for, well, a mix of history, mystery, and just really human stories.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Let's go back first. 1936 Egypt. We meet Charlotte Cross. She's young, just 18, but already part of this Met excavation team.
And she's not just tagging along, she's driven. The whole King Tut discovery a decade earlier really fired up her passion for Egyptology.
Right, and she has serious skills. Already translating hieroglyphics, apparently quite good at practical stuff too, like treating snake bites.
Even doing the dishes, but always listening, soaking it all in. She's determined.
You mentioned hieroglyphics. She translates these ostraka. Tell us about those.
Yeah, the ostraca, they're amazing, basically ancient Egyptian notepads, like limestone flakes. And Charlotte's translations show everyday life from way back, like 1500 BC, wills, shopping lists,
So,
even medical notes. And what's really striking, especially for Charlotte, is what they reveal about women's rights back then.
how so?
Well, ancient Egyptian women could own property, keep it after divorce. There wasn't the same stigma around children born out of wedlock, things that were, frankly, unthinkable for many women in Charlotte's own time, the 1930s.
That's fascinating. So she's digging into a past where women had more freedom than she does in the quote-unquote modern world.
Exactly. It's this historical paradox, right? And it definitely shapes her perspective, this sort of quiet yearning for something more.
So she's there, she's working hard, she's absorbing everything, and then she makes a huge discovery.
She does. A career-making one, really. She literally hits a stone step with her spade, uncovers a previously unrecorded tomb in the Valley of the Kings.
Just like that.
Pretty much. And inside, well, they find two mummies and this incredible artifact, a broad collar. It's this wide, layered gold necklace.
Right.
And crucially, it's inscribed with the cartouche, that oval symbol with the name of Hathor Care, a female pharaoh. Very rare.
Wow. So this is huge. Professionally?
Yeah.
And personally, there's a romance brewing too, right?
With Henry Smith, another archaeologist on the team, they're stealing kisses at Karnak, things like that. It feels like everything's falling into place for her.
Feels like it. But this is where the story takes a sharp turn, doesn't it? Things get complicated.
Very complicated. Charlotte finds out she's pregnant, there's a rushed wedding with Henry, and then the world situation intrudes. Hitler's moving into Poland.
So the excavation gets shut down.
Yeah, the team's pulled out abruptly, but Henry seems unusually anxious to leave, even more than the situation warrants. And then tragedy strikes during their departure. They're on a steamer on the Nile, trying to get out quickly. And that broad collar, the one Charlotte found, it tumbles out of a suitcase belonging to Leon Pitcairn, one of their colleagues.
Leon had it. Why?
Exactly. Charlotte's stunned. Henry grabs it back quickly, but the damage is done. It's this deeply unsettling moment for Charlotte. She found it. Why does Leon have it?
And that's not even the worst part.
No. The steamer sinks. It's catastrophic. Henry and their baby daughter, Lila, are lost, presumed drowned.
Oh my God.
Charlotte survives, but she's carrying this immense trauma and this deep-seated feeling, almost a belief that she's cursed, that her passion for Egypt brought this all down on her.
That's devastating, carrying that for years.
For decades, it shapes everything that follows, locks away this huge part of her life.
Okay, so let's jump forward. Fast forward to 1978. New York City.
Well,
The Met. It's a big moment for the museum.
definitely. The King Tut exhibition is wrapping up its massive tour there. It's been a huge phenomenon. And they've just opened the Temple of Denderwing.
Right, the temple Egypt gifted to the U.S., saved from the Aswan Dam flooding.
Exactly. And it's interesting, the temple itself sort of echoes the themes of preservation, but also how artifacts travel, There's even this old graffiti on it, Leonardo 1820.
Really? Like old tourist graffiti?
Yeah, carved right into the sandstone. A weird human mark on ancient history. It raises questions about ownership, legacy, themes the book keeps circling back to.
Interesting detail. So, in this bustling 1978 Met, we find Charlotte again. She's an associate curator now.
She is. Still brilliant, very efficient, but her career's kind of stalled.
How so?
Well, she's often stuck cleaning up messes for her boss, Frederick. He's more of a concept guy, schmoozing donors.
Ah, that type.
Right. So Charlotte does the meticulous work but doesn't get the recognition, and secretly, she's still researching Hathor Care, that female pharaoh whose collar she found.
Still connected to that past.
Deeply. It's like she's trying to give Hathor Care a voice because maybe her own feels suppressed. It's clear she needs something more than just this job.
While Charlotte's sort of stuck, another young woman enters the scene at the Met. Annie Jenkins.
Right, Annie. Her situation's very different. Difficult home life, basically supporting her mother, Joyce.
But the Met is special to her.
Oh, yeah. It's her escape, her sanctuary since childhood visits with her dad. She loves the blue hippo, the cerulean queen statue. It represents a kind of beauty and stability missing from her life.
Then she gets a job there.
A big break, yeah. Assistant to Diana Vreeland. The Diana Vreeland.
Wow. The legendary fashion editor.
At the Met.
Yep. She was consulting for the Costume Institute then, curating the big Met Gala. That year was themed around Diaghilev and the ballet Russes.
Vreeland was such a character. Blue jeans are the most beautiful thing since the gondola. That famous quote.
Exactly. Totally unconventional. She apparently valued women who were interesting more than just beautiful, which is kind of perfect for Annie.
Awesome. Well, Annie's always felt overlooked, maybe a bit plain. Vreeland's world, all about flair, vision, turning fashion into art, it offers Annie a glimpse of a place where maybe her quiet observations, her uniqueness, could actually matter.
Okay, so we have Charlotte haunted by her past and Annie hoping for a future. And their worlds collide over an artifact.
The artifact, the broad collar, the Met receives it on a one-year loan. And Charlotte sees it.
And knows immediately.
Instantly. It's Hathor Care's collar, the one lost in the Nile, the one Leon Pitcairn had in his suitcase.
What does she do?
She confronts her boss, Frederick, and the loan facilitator, Mr. Levine. She questions where it came from, insists it must be stolen.
How do they react?
They dismiss her. Brush off her concerns as silly, emotional, classic minimizing of a woman's professional judgment, especially when it's tied to something personal.
Ugh, that must have been infuriating.
And deeply painful. It just reinforces her silence, but it also lights a fire under her. This isn't just history anymore, it's personal.
Meanwhile, Annie's finding her footing, making connections.
Yeah, she strikes up a friendship with Billy, one of the security guards. They bond over just loving the museum, the art itself, like a Winslow Homer painting.
Northeaster, right?
That's the one. It grounds Annie, gives her a connection outside of her mom and the sometimes overwhelming fashion world, shows different ways people appreciate the Met.
Okay, so all this tension, Charlotte's past resurfacing, Annie trying to navigate her new world, it all comes to a head at the Met Gala.
Oh, yeah. Gala night. Annie thinks she's following Vreeland's dramatic instructions for the VIP tour. Releases what she believes are butterflies.
But they're not butterflies.
Nope. Moths. Lots of moths. Chaos ensues. Pandemonium.
Just an accident. A prank gone wrong.
Not exactly. It turns out the moths are a signature move, a diversionary tactic used by this group called Ma'at.
Ma'at, like the Egyptian goddess of justice.
Precisely. They're a fictional organization in the book dedicated to repatriating Egyptian artifacts they believe were acquired illegally. So the moths were cover.
Cover for what?
For theft. During the chaos, the cerulean queen statue, one of Annie's childhood favorites, is stolen.
No, and Annie gets blamed.
Yeah, the security chief, Fantoni, points the finger right at her. She released the moths, after all. It looks bad.
But Charlotte steps in.
She does, and this is a big moment. Charlotte, usually so reserved, takes charge, directs security, but also defends Annie. She points out Annie actually tried to stop the thief, even fended him off with some decorative Indian dagger.
Wow, so Annie fought back.
She did. Brave, really. And they get a description of the thief dark suit carrying a sort of bowling ball-sized bag and wearing an ankh necklace.
The Egyptian symbol for eternal life.
Right. Ironic, isn't it? Stealing while wearing a symbol of life. But this whole event, the theft, Charlotte defending Annie, it breaks something open in Charlotte.
How so?
It forces her hand. She finally tells her boyfriend Mark about everything. Henry, baby Layla, the shipwreck, the collar. Decades of secrets just pour out.
That must have been incredibly difficult, but also maybe freeing.
Absolutely. But it also leads to the end of her relationship with Mark. He's supportive initially, but he realizes she needs space, needs to resolve this past completely. She can't commit to the future he wants while this ghost hangs over her.
So he lets her go, in a way.
Yeah. Painful, but necessary. And it galvanizes Charlotte. She decides she has to go back to Egypt, Face the curse, find Leon Pitcairn, get answers.
After all those years avoiding it, but she doesn't go alone.
No. Annie, who's now lost her job because of the moth incident and whose mom is getting married and basically kicking her out.
Yeah.
Annie follows her.
Secretly.
At first, yeah. Then she basically convinces Charlotte to let her stay, proves she's useful, hails a cab like a pro in Cairo, thinks fast in tight spots.
So Annie's really changed. She's not just tagging along.
Not at all. She's showing real initiative, resourcefulness. Her eye for detail turns out to be invaluable. It's a shift from naive assistant to, well, a capable partner in this quest.
An unlikely team then. Back in Egypt. Back to the source.
Right. They revisit the tomb Charlotte found all those years ago. There's a tense moment. The tomb is unstable. But Annie manages to retrieve a canopic box, where they kept the organs.
Arctic thinking pays off.
Big time. They take the box to a hospital in Cairo, get a CT scan.
Modern tech meets ancient mystery.
Exactly. And the scan finds a molar inside the box. And that molar is a perfect match for a missing tooth in Hathor Khair's mummy.
No way!
Yes. After thousands of years, they definitively identify the female pharaoh. They give her back her name, her identity, despite someone trying to erase her from history. It's huge.
A major victory, vindicating Charlotte's lifelong focus. But the personal mysteries still need solving.
Right. Charlotte tracks down Leon Pitcairn. He's older now, working as a tour guide in Luxor.
And does he talk?
He does, admits he survived the shipwreck, yeah. And then drops the bombshell. He hints Henry might have survived too. And there appears he's alive.
My God, after all this time.
Alive. He confesses everything to Charlotte. How Leon had coerced him into smuggling antiquities back then, just trying to make money for their new family. The immense guilt he carried, thinking Layla and Charlotte had died.
So he thought she was dead too.
He did. It's just layers upon layers of tragedy and misunderstanding.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But there's more, isn't there? His life didn't just stop.
No. He reveals he built a new life. Married a woman named Heba, settled in Geneva, had another daughter, Mona.
Wow.
And here's another twist. Mona grew up resenting Henry, partly because of his past with antiquities. That resentment led her to join Mott.
The group that did the Met heist.
The very same. She was involved in the cerulean queen theft. Henry had tried to warn her off, which led to a confrontation with Leon back in Luxor just before Charlotte found him. It's all connected.
What a tangled web. But the biggest revelation is still coming, right?
Yeah.
For Charlotte, personally.
The biggest one. Layla, her daughter. She's alive too.
How? What happened?
Henry explains he actually sent a letter to Charlotte's parents after the shipwreck, telling them Layla had survived, that she was safe with him initially before things got complicated. But her parents, they hid the letter.
They hid it from her. Why?
They thought they were protecting her, protecting the family name from scandal, from judgment about Charlotte's choices. They basically encouraged her to just forget. And they took that secret to their graves.
That's heartbreaking. All that extra pain she carried because of their fear.
Exactly. And how is Layla found? It turns out she's Fatima, the clerk at the hotel Charlotte and Annie stayed at.
The clerk? How do they realize?
A hereditary silver streak in her hair. Same as Charlotte's grandmother.
Yeah.
And Fatima's story. She was a foundling, grew up not knowing her parents, but she found an old newspaper article about the Nile shipwreck mentioning one infant survivor, Layla Smith. She put two and two together, learned English, got the hotel job, hoping one day.
Hoping her parents might come looking. And they did.
They did. It's an incredible reunion, decades in the making.
So looking back at this whole deep dive, it really shows how these big historical narratives and our own personal stories are just completely tangled up.
Absolutely. Charlotte and Annie, their lives separated by decades, but they connect through the Met, through Egypt, through this shared search for truth.
And look at the transformations. Charlotte finally confronts her grief, that curse, finds her daughter, finds peace, really.
And Annie starts out just trying to survive, unsure of herself, but finds her strength, her voice, her purpose. It's quite the journey for both.
So where do they end up?
Well, Charlotte takes on this great new role, curatorial consultant for the Met, but she splits her time. She gets to work in Cairo with the Theban Mapping Project, protecting those sites she loves, and she's finally writing about Hathor Khair.
Giving her that voice.
Exactly, and reclaiming her own. Annie goes back to the Met, back to working with Diana Vreeland, but she's different now. Confident, ready for whatever comes next.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe the real treasures aren't always the gold artifacts in glass cases.
Maybe they're the hidden stories, the lost connections in our own lives, our own families.
And museums like the Met, they preserve art, sure, But maybe they're also containers for all these human stories, loss, identity, searching.
Yeah. How many other stolen queens are out there? Not just pharaohs, but stories waiting to be uncovered in our own histories.
Maybe finding peace, like Charlotte, means having the courage to look back.
And maybe finding strength, like Annie, means just stepping up and embracing whatever life throws at you.